of Ukraine, which is pity actually because our countries have very good relationship, and we share this relationship not even since 25 years of the independence, I mean Ukrainian independence. It started much more before. Let me mention only two things. In 1932, a man called Mohammed Assad came to Karachi, and you know the story. Then he participated in the creation of the draft of your constitution. He was an envoy to the United Nations of Pakistan, but you maybe do not know that he has Ukrainian descent because he was born in Ukrainian city Kyiv, which is the western part of Ukraine. Big empires, Russian and Austrian, and those times it was Austria. But now it is one of the most beautiful cities in Ukraine, and we are very proud to have such a personality who brings us together, I mean, to our countries, because his name from the birth was Leopold Weiss. He was of Jewish descent, you know, and then he converted into Islam in 1926, and he changed the name into Mohammed Assad, which means lion. But the city Lviv itself also means the city of lion. Maybe because of that, who knows. That is only one fact. And now in the same city we have not very big but still very interesting Islamic center named by Mohammed Assad. We opened it in 2015 and we participated in creation of your big Karachi steel factory, and I think that since there we can share a very friendly relationship. And finally, we can come to the reality, to the nowadays reality, when we also created a very good possibility to be collaborated in many and then Chinese because of these transmissions. But we also have a lot of possibilities in agriculture, in science and technology, in research. Yeah, you may do that or do it, which is more convenient. Yeah, it's better. This way. Thank you. Also with agriculture, because you know Ukraine is those times when we were the part of the USSR, it was breadbasket of the USSR. Right now we can feed also at least I think the whole Europe, because we possess 1/3 of the European black soils and 1/10 of the world's black soils. I mean that is a very good fertility in my country, and we can produce a lot of wheat, pulses, vegetables, which is important for you. And we send already some pulses and sunflower oil to Pakistan. And we are happy to have your citrus in Ukraine and your rice, which is the best in the world, as I know. A lot of stories about our relationship will come later also, because today my subject is foreign policy of Ukraine, and I would like to cover some general priorities, some general challenges we face right now in Ukraine, some geopolitical issues as well. Just to share some ideas about my country, about the position of my country, and it would be nice if I will have some questions also from your side, because I can't cover all the topic, but still I will try to do the main things. Yeah. Okay, then I will a few words about my institute, if it is possible, because we are the educational Institute of International Relations, as you can see. But mostly we work for the future diplomats of our country, and we have among our ex-students, we have our current president, Shevchenko, we have former president of Georgia, Mikhail Saakashvili, who was our student as well. We have many ambassadors in many countries, not only ambassadors of Ukraine, I mean, but once it was a surprise when a new ambassador of Chad came to meet our students and tell them that he was the student of this institution as well many years ago. So we teach international relations, international economics, international business, international information. Yes. and the international law, of course, which is very important. We have courses primarily in Ukrainian language, but for master degree, we provide also English teaching programs. Right now we have no Pakistani students, but we had 1 or 2 last year in this master degree in my institute, I mean. While the institute, thank you so much, is the part of the university, which is one of the oldest in my country and the very prestigious National University of Kyiv. We have a lot of departments and we have a lot of memorandums of understanding because we try to create a very fruitful collaboration with many countries. And please, you should know that these countries are not only from the western part of the world. We have very good collaboration with the Asian partners, with the Kuwait University, Tehran University, some universities in India, in China. And we already started the collaboration with the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences, which is also the most eminent think tank in China, as you know. A lot of things happening, and now let me start with the presentation about the foreign policy of Ukraine. Yes. Some general information for your attention, please. Ukraine is the biggest European country in Europe. We are the biggest one, I mean. We are bigger than France. We are bigger than Spain a little bit. And our location is, I think, very good from one point of view. We are located in Central or Eastern Europe. It depends on how to estimate Europe, how to divide. We have the geographical center of Europe at the territory of Ukraine in our western part. But also there are some challenges because of this position, as you can understand, because we are in between position between the Western Europe and Russia, between Europe and Asia. That's why there are also some challenges. Ukraine is a unitary state because we have almost 80% of our population who are Ukrainians. The biggest minority is Russian, but we have a lot of people from former Soviet republics. We have a lot of people who came from our neighboring countries from the West, like Polish, Moldovan, Belarusian, Slovak, Hungarian, and other. It is absolutely peaceful and tolerant country. It is secular country, but the majority of population is Eastern Orthodox or Orthodox Christians people, as we call ourselves. We have a small Muslim minority also, a little bit less than 1%, and it's still a little bit bigger than Roman Catholics, for example, we also have in Ukraine. It is a democratic state, and we tried to be democratic for all these 25 years. Now you can see our neighbors from the western part. 6 countries are our neighbors altogether. And we have also Turkey with the coastline. Quite big, quite long border, about 7,000 kilometers, and the biggest part of this border is with the Russian Federation, with which only we have territorial disputes. With other neighbors, there is no problems at all. All the disputes have been resolved from the very beginning. The principal provisions of the foreign policy, I will try not to be very boring, and I will only mention some documents. Of course, there is a constitution, but there is a principal law, the basic directions of Ukraine's foreign policy, adopted in 1993, 2 years after the independence. It is the principal law for Ukrainian foreign policy when our major task is to revive our European identity. Means we understand foreign countries first of all, and to keep a very good relationship with many countries in the world, and to participate actively in the global issues policies. Which became possible because Ukraine is the founding member of the United Nations. It was those times Soviet Republic, but we were among the founding members of the United Nations since 1945. Our delegation participated in the San Francisco conference, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine those times Manuilsky participated in creating of the draft for the Charter of the United Nations. We are members of WTO since 2008, and right now, for the fourth time in the history, we have the position of non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. We are presented in the European structures since 1995, like Council of Europe and OSCE. And the Ukraine does not participate fully in different Russia-led integrational projects in post-Soviet space. I mean, Custom Union and others, even CIS. We've never been the full member of this organization. And actually, after 25 years of independence, we try to provide a new term for this space. It could be new independent states, or it could be also new Eastern Europe, where we have Moldova, Ukraine, and Belarus. And the region, which is very important for us, it's again Eastern Europe. Let me also mention here that Ukraine was very active in peacekeeping operations all the times, not so active as Pakistan because we don't have such a possibility. But still, Ukrainian peacekeepers participated together with Pakistani colleagues in the missions in Bosnia, for example. And it was a very big experience, and it was our intention to make an impact in solving conflicts in post-Soviet space, like the conflict in Nagorno-Karabakh, in Transnistria, in Abkhazia. But right now we have to reduce our participation because we have, unfortunately, our own conflict, and we can't do that much for the peacekeeping throughout the world. As for the regional cooperation, you may see that Ukraine is active participant, and actually there is a Ukrainian idea to create the so-called Guam Organization for Democracy and Economic Development. It was a proposal made by Ukraine in 1997. In 1999, it was the formal, we set up this organization formally. Since 2007, there is a charter for this organization. And you may see that Guam is for countries like Georgia, Ukraine, Azerbaijan, and Moldova. Also, for some time, Uzbekistan participated in this organization. It is not against Russia, absolutely not. It is the organization which has been created, first of all, because of the security reasons. And again, first of all, because of the energy security reasons. And right now, Azerbaijan is our strategic partner and the #1 partner for securing us in the energy sector. Those times when the organization has been created, these countries like Moldova, Azerbaijan, Georgia, 3 of them had conflicts, had disputes on territorial integrity. Ukraine did not have, and we tried to provide our mission as communicators, negotiators during solving these conflicts. Right now, all of them, I mean all the countries participated in Guam, have problems and territorial disputes, unfortunately. Another very interesting aspect of our regional cooperation is the Black Sea Economic Cooperation. The idea proposed by Turkey in 1990 and then formally established BICC in 1992. Ukraine actively participated, but let's say that it could be even more active, I believe, because there is a lot of possibilities to create multilateral and bilateral projects in many fields, starting of course with trade and economic cooperation, and also a lot of things in with culture, environmental, educational things, and a lot of them. Right now, many projects have been stopped because of the sanctions against Russia Federation after the annexation of Crimea. You know that, I think, but still, we observe this possibility as a very important for us, especially again because of the security reasons and the issue about the Crimea annexation. One more project to be mentioned here, I don't know if you are aware about it, it's so-called Intermarium project, proposed many years before Many scholars believe that primarily it was the Polish idea made by Joseph Pilsudski after the First World War to create a regional cooperation where we can see Poland, first of all, as the main coordinator, but now we have a very good partnership relationship with this country, and we would like to broaden this concept between inter mare means in between seas, between Black and Baltic Sea, which is actually very understandable because since the Middle Ages we have this way trade cooperation from Baltic Sea to the Black Sea. That's why. Also there are security reasons, also there are cultural heritage and traditions. You may see here not only our partners which are now members of NATO and the European Union, you also may see here Belarus, which is incorporated into projects with Russia, but we have no problems with Belarus, and we believe that we can continue to be very good in our bilateral relationship. So then why we don't have such a multilateral project? It is still on the table, let's say, and we observe it as a very positive for the future, very positive option. Of course, it is a lot of discussions about the partnership of Ukraine with NATO. Actually, I would like to mention that for every country in this world, security issues issue number one. Since 1994, Ukraine very actively participated in a program which called Partnership for Peace, proposed by NATO to the neighboring countries. And Ukraine was the first from the post-Soviet countries who accepted this proposition. After Russia also came into this project and many other countries, it means that for us it was a huge experience in changing experience actually, adopting new standards in military equipment. It was also the possibility to provide some joint exercises. And also NATO funded a lot of programs for our ex-militaries education. A lot of things happened. Since 1997 we have a charter on distinctive partnership between Ukraine and NATO. It was continued by one more document in 2009. But we never have been invited to be a member of NATO, while there is probably a will, but right now it is not under discussion, not at all. What is more, since 2010 until 2014, Ukraine possessed so-called non-bloc status. It was the time of previous President Yanukovych, and it was under the pressure of Russian Federation. He made this decision to provide a special additional law because we never stated in our constitution that we can't join any military or political bloc. We are free to do that to provide our security. Since the annexation of Crimea in 2014, it was again one more adaptation of the Ukrainian law, and this non-bloc status has been abandoned. So right now we are free to be in a very good partnership relationship with NATO, but we are not members, of course. And a lot of things happened between us, a lot of sectoral cooperation, dialogues, and practical cooperation, starting with the things when they supported us with the nuclear programs and the many things which happened after Chernobyl catastrophe in 1986. Educational programs, for example, English training programs for our diplomats, officers, also some changes in management in our military equipment, military troops, and since 2015 we have again in Lviv, the same city where Mohammed Assad was born, we have a very big special place for the joint military exercises. So right now we have it every year together with NATO. One more thing to be mentioned here about security, which is very important. As I said before, Ukraine tried to be a reliable partner. We are really very peaceful and tolerant country. We never violated any documents. We never had any, don't keep an eye on the other territories. We have no disputes with our neighbors at all. But when Ukraine became independent, those times it was third largest nuclear potential in the world. It means that we had not only tactical weapons, but also strategical, like bombers, strategical bombers, like intercontinental missiles. In 1994, the document called Budapest Memorandum stated that we will give up our nuclear potential, which is for the first time in the history probably, and I don't know how you can understand it here in this part of the world with your nuclear story. And yesterday I got many interesting questions about this issue, but still there are some reasons why we do that, why we did it. First of all, because yes, we possessed this third largest potential, but we could not control it. The second, I mean that only Moscow can control it during the Soviet times. The second reason is that it was very expensive to keep it, to take care about this stockpile. The third reason is that it was a very big pressure for both Russia and the United States, the biggest nuclear powers, because it was important to understand what Ukraine will do with this potential. And because of this pressure, actually no one in the world did not want to create a good nuclear potential, they said. Again, Ukraine tried to provide a peaceful image of the country, and we believed maybe it was a mistake, and many people, let me say, right now do think that it was a mistake. We believe it is possible when we demonstrate such a goodwill to the international community. The international community will appreciate our step. Why I said that it was a mistake? Because you may see in this Budapest Memorandum, three countries which are United States, Russian Federation, and United Kingdom. They promised us, they gave us security assurance that they will never violate and they will never use force against Ukraine. Right now we can see that it was not true, unfortunately, and this document was just a document, just a paper, nothing else, without any mechanism how to ensure these guarantees, and that's why probably we have such a severe situation right now, which started with the annexation of Crimea. Now, again, very sensitive issue, which is Ukraine-Russia relationship. I said before that we try to provide a really brotherhood relationship. We believe it is possible, and what is more, in our documents, it is a statement that all our neighbors could be estimated as our strategic partners. That's why we also have this great treaty in 1997 between Ukraine and Russia Federation on strategic partnership again. And actually it is still in the force. About the differences, why it is so difficult and why we have such a severe situation now. Because Ukraine always stands for really friendly and mutually beneficial relationship on the basis of equal partnership. It means very good cooperation but not integration. While Russia provided a lot of projects, starting with the CIS and many others, like right now they have the Eurasian Economic Union, many others. When Russia was eager to provide this reintegration, let's say, reintegration under different names, it could be Russian world, it could be custom union, it could be Eurasia, whatever. But Ukraine was always opposite the reintegration because again it could be a challenge for us and we don't want to be involved in such an integrational project. That is the difference, and that's why we suffered from different kind of wars, like trade wars, gas wars, because you know maybe that Ukraine was extremely dependent on Russian gas. And until last maybe 2 years, it was 90% of dependence. And when they like to make a pressure, they just stop to supply us gas, in the winter, of course. A lot of other things happened, but just to catch an idea why it is difficult, because there are very different approaches how to estimate each other. So we may say that we are neighbors, but not really good partners, unfortunately. Here you can see military men without any signs during the occupation of Crimea. They call it so-called green men in Russia. So it was the beginning of the violation of both Budapest Memorandum as well as Great Treaty between Russia and Ukraine, because they really annexed our territory, and then came the armed conflict in Donbass, which is the eastern part of Ukraine. But the plan was to create something as they call New Russia, means to divide Ukraine again, as it was divided actually for many, many centuries. We have no Ukraine on the map, not at all. It was divided between Poland or Austria from one side and Russia from the other side. And the plan was to revive this project again, the plan of Russian Spring, but it failed, and now only 3 persons of this eastern part of the territories, you may see it here on the red part of the map, only 3 persons of those red territories are not under control of the Ukrainian government right now, and the plan was with all these brown and black colors regions, but the black, it is Crimea, which is annexed. The rest is still under Ukrainian control, so altogether we could not control a little bit more than 12% of our territory right now. That is the current situation we suffer from, and a lot of things happen. Many scholars call it hybrid war because it has many phases, because it's based on lies and some classification and pressure. Many scholars call it frozen conflict, but let me say it is not frozen, it's hot conflict actually right now. Of course, this Ukrainian-Russian enmity naturally affected our economy a lot, and of course there are some very sad stories because of this conflict, and you may see that during the last 3 years we have a so-called anti-terrorist operation in the eastern part of Ukraine, when during this operation we lost 10,000 of the Ukrainian people, which is for the first time in our history. We never suffered with such a huge number of victims, and it is a sad story because among them we have not only militaries, we have also civilians, we have also children. But the only thing which could be estimated as positive is that Ukrainian army now again became much more stronger. In the beginning of 90s, it was one of the biggest European armies actually. Then we lost our capacities because of many reasons. Right now it ranks the 8th position in Europe after these 3 years of the war conflict. And right now we annually spend 5% of our GDP on defense, which is much more than many big European countries spend, as you know. And right now it is the only army with the huge experience actually, because it really faces this aggression. How to manage the conflict? The next question will be, of course, we have a set of negotiations which we call Minsk 1 and Minsk 2. There is a package of measures how to stop the violence. First of all, it is of course about security. It should be a ceasefire, it should be a withdrawal of heavy weapons, and it should be a control of access for the control for monitors from the OSCE. A lot of negotiations provided due to our partners in Europe, France and Germany, and due to the support of Belarus, which made Minsk the platform for these negotiations. But unfortunately, I have to say that there is no real results. There is no implementation of these negotiations till now. I mean, the conflict is still in progress. And there was no grounds for mitigating Ukrainian-Russian confrontation this year, unfortunately. While Kyiv actually provided a lot of diplomatic relations, we got some acceptance, let's say, of what is happening, because there are some resolutions made by European Parliament, by International Court, For example, the last decision you may see here in April 19, 2017, International Court decision confirmed Russian Federation as the part of the conflict in Donbass, which is very important for us, but you know, we can't rely on somebody's huge support right now. We really understand after 3 years of this conflict that we should rely on ourselves first of all. The only thing we would like to have it is at least the understanding what is happening. And that's why it was the lecture of our President Poroshenko made the same day, April 19, 2007, when this decision of the International Court came. It was the lecture in Chatham House dedicated to Ukrainian situation. He called it the battle for Ukraine because he said sometimes I hear people who are asking why should we care about Ukraine? You know that Europe is very busy with its own things. Started with Brexit and now finally the elections in France. Now the results are finalized, but still we have a lot of things to do. It means that we understand that Europe and the whole world does not you know, around Ukraine. We are not the central, we are not number one question in the global affairs. But he said that for ourselves it's not a clash of civilizations as many people try to explain the conflict, but it is the clash between the world of rules and the world of blunt force, and there is a violation of international documents, there is a violation of internal security, and that's why it is the battle not only for Ukraine but for the European security as well. Then must be a lot of questions could come about why Ukraine is so eager to be closely collaborate with the European Union. Because we are Europeans, actually. That is the reason we are in Europe. That is the European country, and our relations with the European Union started in 1992. The basis for them was the mentioned above law on the key directions of the foreign policy of Ukraine, when we estimated the European Union as our reliable partner, and we would like to have this priority for European foreign policy. And all the Ukrainian governments actually tried to continue this line. Why, frankly speaking, we had some like waves in our foreign policy during this 25 years. Since 2005, we have an action plan of the collaboration with the European Union. Since 2009, Ukraine participated in so-called Eastern Partnership Initiative. It was adopted as the new direction of the European neighborhood policy after the last enlargement of European Union in 2004. It was the next step. Eastern Partnership covered 6 former Soviet republics, which are Moldova, Belarus, Ukraine, Azerbaijan, Georgia, and Armenia. Belarus does not participate in this program, only with border management they were busy. But the rest 5 countries, they participated. The most active participation has been demonstrated by Moldova. But the progress of Georgia was also very visible. The main objective of this for the European Union and to prepare our countries to sign association agreement and to create DCFTA with the European Union and to provide visa liberalization regime. And let me say that it is a big support among the Ukrainians, especially among the young generation. People who were born after independence, during the independent Ukraine. So that's why really they wanted to be more European. And right now the result is that in 2014 we signed the political part of the association agreement with the European Union. After a very big, let's say, revolution provided by the Ukrainians for this association agreement. Then since January 2016, we also have already DCFTA, free trade area with the European Union, which supported us a lot in increasing our economy, which definitely suffers from the conflict. And they also, let me say that in next month, I hope so, next month, with all these European inspirations we have among young people and among Ukrainians who are still even have a dream eventually joining the European Union, which is not possible in the nearest future, let me say right now. But still, for the young generation, it is important because they're really against Russian-led integration projects. So I hope that this June we will have also visa liberalization regime. It means it's already on the table of the European Commission because members of the European Parliament already voted for that. With the big majority, only 17, I think, only 17 members were against this decision, while 521 members voted for. Then we may travel to Europe without visa since next month, hopefully. But one more thing, very important for me, especially as the person who deals primarily with Ukraine-Asia relationship, that this Ukraine's Europe-oriented foreign policy does not restrict very good collaboration, bilateral, multilateral, with many countries in different regions, starting with Latin America and Africa, which are very far, of course, but then we can come to the Middle East, to Asia, where we have a lot of partners, and really we estimate right now this pivot to Asia as the most important trend in global affairs. We do understand how Asia is important, and I still have a hope that our government will pay even more attention to this region, because it's my desire to provide a very good cooperation with Asian countries, and we have a lot of things to propose in this part of the world, starting with space, aviation, machinery, engineering, which was actually started during the Soviet times because, a lot of specialists came to Karachi, to Bhilai in India, many other places from Ukraine especially. We are very good in IT sphere right now. We have a very good agriculture, as you may see, so it's a lot of possibilities to create good relationship with Asian countries, I believe. One of them only to be mentioned here, just the last, our achievement, let's say. Ukrainian state enterprise named Antonov, you maybe know this name because they produced actually the largest cargo aircraft in the world, Antonov 225, with the cargo possibility of 250 tons. But now the last result is that new Antonov 132, it is the joint project with Saudi Arabia. That's why I would like to mention it here. It was completed only for 1 year. And I mean that it is our Ukrainian design, our Ukrainian construction, and the first test flight you may see here with our president and Saudi prince, who came specially to participate because they invested in this project. And during this flight already we have one of the pilots from Saudi Arabia. This project is very good, it's light transport aircraft, but it is very good for the countries with hot climate. That's why they supported, they invested a lot into this. About Pakistan and Ukraine relationship, I already mentioned when we had this possibility before the lecture. It is a lot of things which already happened. We have a lot of students from Pakistan and Ukraine, and I may witness that we will have, because I just came from Islamabad and I see the line near the embassy of Ukraine in Islamabad. So really a lot of people, businessmen and students wanted to visit us, and they are warmly welcome. Of course, students mostly in medical and engineering institutions. But a lot of collaboration we started even in research and scientific cooperation. We just signed the memorandum of understanding between my institute and the Kyiv University School of Politics and International Relations, which I observed as a very good possibility to provide exchange and for the people-to-people contacts. And finally, I would still invite you, because it is an opening ceremony right now in Kyiv of Eurovision, but you still have a chance to reach the competition tomorrow maybe, because it will be for some days. It is one of the most exciting and most expected events of the year in Europe, not only in Ukraine. Ukraine win this competition for the second time, and that's why we now have the right to provide our hospitality. to our friends from all over Europe, which is very good for us and a very interesting chance to to bring some of these ideas about Ukraine. You may see our girl and boy in traditional Ukrainian costumes, which are very bright, as you have in Pakistan actually. We have a lot in every region, they are different, but these are most typical. You may see that. And the slogan of the Eurovision is celebrate diversity. And that is the main rule, let's say, of the tolerant Ukraine in the foreign policy as well. And now I would like to finish and thank you very much for your attention and of course your questions.